I want to share a couple videos, right? Um, the first video, because a lot of people may not be familiar. Now, stop me if you don't want me to play it, because I don't know how you're affected by it. Was
Nah, it's
what
cool.
happened to you specifically? All right, so I'm gonna share this video if you cool with it.
Absolutely.
Let's break this down a little bit. So this is a routine
Mr.
stop.
Simpson
Hold
hit the
on, let me
gas
back it up a
pedal,
little
and
bit.
Officer
Let me
Daly
back
was
it up. So this is you on the left-hand side of the driver's side,
That's
right?
right.
Walk me through this and tell me what the heck is happening right now.
So I'll give you the basic because it's still in the court process.
Is it?
Um, yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't know that.
unfortunately because of COVID, all the cases got pushed back. This happened August 1st, 2019, you guys, and it's went through federal. The feds already processed him. He's doing. He got 8. Well, they gave him 10.
They gave him
And he
10 years
pled
for this.
for 8 for the federal side of it. And then also, he's looking for the state. He's looking at like 30 to 40 years for attempted murder of a police officer.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
So they
And the
haven't
thing with
even dealt
this,
with that aspect of it. They just dealt with it on the federal side. They didn't deal with it on the state side. So
correct,
wait.
correct.
So educate me on this because Anton
All
is
right,
not a former criminal at all. I have no record, never been arrested, right? So
right.
you can get prosecuted when you carry out an offense against a police officer on both the state and the federal side.
Yeah, it depends on your criminal history. It depends on what act you've actually committed. Um, I think this got a lot of federal attention because of the his criminal history, a lot of gun offenses,
Mm-hmm.
and there were a lot of narcotics in this vehicle,
No
and
wonder
of
he ran.
course, right, and of course the actual act of attempted murder of a police officer, the aggravated assault of a police officer. Those are going to be state offenses, but he had several violations of gun charges, and I think yeah. So it got their attention definitely, especially um, just I mean the situation went viral. This video went viral, and it got a
Yeah.
lot of attention.
What? So wait a minute. How long had you been on the force before we played this video?
So I've been on the force for 13 years. It started back in 2006.
At the time of this incident?
Yeah. So at this time exactly was probably 12 years, 13 years, and it's the year after when I had to retire.
Okay. And then your partner, it looks like I'm not sure how long your partner has been on the force. How long had your partner been on there?
I believe he was on maybe about 5 years. I want to say
Okay.
5, 6 years, and he was actually going on the other side to go pull the keys out of the car, and I ended up getting actually trapped. I couldn't pull myself out in time, and he pulled off while I was still trapped inside the vehicle. I
All right.
couldn't
So
get
let me
out.
play this video. Let me play this
Mhm.
video, and if you want to comment, or is it anything, or any additional insight that you want to add while this video is playing, you are more than welcome to. Because at the end, I also have the video of your response
Okay.
when you had the gown on, the hospital gown, and all of that, everything like that. So I want to play this because I think that not only does it give people some insight into who you are and what you've been through, but also it shows, I think, more of who you are from a character perspective after it happened. So I'm gonna go ahead
Okay.
and play this. So
Mr.
he's
Simpson
taking
hit the
off.
gas pedal, and Officer Daly was trapped partially in the car, holding on as Mr. Simpson.
So your
fled
partner
towards
hurry up
Interstate
and runs back to the
I-285.
car
On the
immediately.
entrance ramp
Correct.
to 285, Officer Daly's body struck another vehicle as
And
Mr.
so if
Simpson
you
passed
pause it right
vehicles that were.
here, so what he starts to do, because I'm hanging outside of the window, what happened was as I felt my body dragging, I had to jump up because I felt my body being pulled
Yeah, I
underneath.
seen that. I seen you jump up
Right,
immediately right here.
right.
Mr. Simpson
Is that instinct, pure instinct? Is that or is that
Pure
training?
instinct. No, that's instincts. That's all. It was just everything happened so quickly. Everything happened so fast. My body just reacted. And so I hopped in. I
You
started
must have
holding
been
on to
raised
the
in the hood,
vehicle.
bro. Nobody got instincts like that unless they raised in the hood, bro.
No, it's not. It's one of those things where it's not your first rodeo, literally, right? I was out here car surfing, and so I
How
was
were you
holding
trapped
on.
though? What, he rolled the window
So-
up or something?
Nah, the window was down. He had my arm.
Oh, he
my
had
arm.
your arm? Oh, this
Right.
dude is just a pure savage.
Yeah. He's savage, all right. Yeah, he had my arm. And
hit
so
the
as
gas
he's
pedal,
going
and
down
Officer
the
Daly was
as
trapped
he's going
partially
down
in
the entrance
car,
ramp,
holding on.
he starts ramming me against vehicles as he was going down. So intentionally.
But why?
swinging the
Why?
vehicle.
It's not okay. If he let you go, then that means that he can get away anyway. Why is he holding on to you? I don't understand.
Well, so I think everything happened in a quick motion. I don't know what his thought process was, but in this moment right here, as we see the video going down, he's actually ramming me against vehicles as he's going down the ramp intentionally. So every time he drove by a car, he would snatch the vehicle to the left and slam me up against the vehicles that he was passing by. And then he
That's
slammed me
crazy.
right. Yeah.
Were you fearful, or did you have like a lot of adrenaline going through you? What the heck was going on?
Nah, I was talking to him.
Really?
Yeah.
I know you wasn't talking to him in the voice that you talk to us in, because you just be
Nah, I
calm
was
all the
talking
time.
I was talking to him just like this.
Seriously.
Yeah, it's all on the body cam. They're more likely gonna play it during court, but they haven't released the body camera footage because it hasn't gone to trial yet. But I was having a conversation with them, and the conversation was basically me just saying, hey man, you're free to go. Just slow the car down so I can let go. And
What kind of insane animal is this?
man, I'm blessed to be alive, man.
How does your So this is you afterwards. Let me turn this up. Hold on.
Oh, it does look as bad as it feels.
Hold on.
But-
Let me rewind
And
this.
Officer Daly was trapped partially
Let me see. We don't need to see this again. We don't want you reliving that.
with
over.
Officer Daly's body in between.
So this is you afterwards.
Right. All right, everyone. It does look as bad as it feels, but you know me, I will bounce back 10 times stronger. Little knick-knack. I love you guys. Thank you so much for your support. And I accept donations in the form of sweets, cookies, chocolate chip cookies, cupcakes with sprinkles, vanilla, or red velvet.
How does all of the worst things happen to the best people, bro? Honestly, because you can just see and feel your spirit in that you are genuinely a good dude. How does all of the worst things happen to the best people? I don't understand that, bro. You smiling while you getting took into the ambulance.
Yeah, man. One, I was high. I'll say that. I was high as a kite because I was in so much pain. I had actually tore everything on my shoulder. I had damaged my lower back. I damaged my my leg, my entire right side of my body. I had several lacerations on my face, and several stitches. Almost lost my left eye. The doctor was like, if I would have when I landed on the ground, I was unconscious when I hit the white van. And I don't know how long, to this day, I still don't know how long I was out. But they actually carried me from there and took me to the hospital because I think he rammed into maybe 4 other vehicles.
Jesus
He had the whole
Christ.
entire interstate shut down. So they had to put me in a police car and actually drive me to the hospital. And so the next day, though, when you talk about after all that medicine wore off, the swelling kicked in.
Mhm.
Bro, you seen that movie Hitch with Will Smith?
Yeah, when he was drinking the Benadryl.
Yeah, man, that's how my face looked. You thought I got into the ring with Mike Tyson, And so it took a long time to recover, like 1.5 years before I could actually. Matter of fact, the doctor just released me to start exercising. The end of last year. Prior to that, I couldn't really do much, so I was stuck.
That's crazy. I believe I can't think of a profession in the United States of America. I mean, obviously, if you're working on some oil rig somewhere, some crazy in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean or something like that, I don't know. But I can't really think of a profession in the United States right off the top of my hand that's more dangerous than a police officer. Is that generally an accurate assessment? Because the one thing, like, we'll see killings, and then, matter of fact, let me get to some of these super chats real quick. Let me get to a couple. It says, I was so proud of Logic, Rilla, and Nathan for checking that mess. Chaotic and Logic were telling factual factual and statistical facts. And the blacks got mad. Truth and facts don't care about your anger. That's from Duty, Honor, and Caffeine. Thank you for the super chat. And then let's get to one more really quickly. Actually, a couple more. Spaces. See, I got that right. Spaces says this dude was serving bars like fresh hot cakes on the peef, effed around and made me follow him. If he's a pig, I'm a pig. Oink, oink, mofo. Sending an email about important business decision I have to make. All right, Spaces, I appreciate you for the super chat. Shout out to you. And this old lady says, for your sweet tooth. Shout out to you. So let me flip this around a little quickly. I think that being a police officer is probably one of the most dangerous professions, if not the most dangerous profession in the United States, because we see all of the videos of course you're going to get the viral moment like what happened in Grand Rapids. I do want to get your insight on that. So I got a clip of that video. I don't have the clip of I cut out the part where it was the actual shooting because I already did a review on that. But I do want to get your insight on a lot of different questions, such as stopping somebody while you're by yourself and all of that other type of stuff, right? Is that a general sentiment that not only is being a police officer one of the most dangerous professions in the United States, but you guys have a high divorce rate, you know, a lot of different things that go along with that. Can you give me some insight into that?
Yeah, you know, outside of the high divorce rate, it's also high domestics too, as well. As an officer, our leading cause of death is actually suicide.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, our leading cause of death is suicide. You know, every year, approximately like 56,000 officers are assaulted in the course of their duties. And out of those assaults, about 17,000 receive serious injuries from those assaults. So, you know, the profession is dangerous. It is. And I'm not saying that to discredit, you know, bad officers or the things that they do.
Of course not.
There might be questions, things like that. But just to bring some insight to it. It's difficult. It's very difficult. And people will be surprised. We don't really get the support that people think we get. You know, after my injury, there was a lot of red tape, dealing with insurance companies and things like that. You know, again, once the lights are off, it's just you and you're left in your own mind and your own ability to recover on your own. Right. So again, I didn't have issues getting any medical treatment or anything like that. But, you know, there's another layer to it. You know, your mental health, in a sense, is on you. You know, even though I got a chance to go to a therapist, I was having nightmares and things of that nature. I didn't feel as confident that I'd be able to come back and do the job at the level that I was doing it before. And then, you know, you go through the motions of trying to recover. You know, I don't like today. I could look at myself. I don't look like I look the same, right? You still see I still see the injuries on my face. I could see that I'm not the same person from before. And so it takes a lot to recover when you're trying to pull yourself out the mud. And by the grace of God, I had, you know, friends, faith, and family. And, you know, I think during my recovery actually was going on, the COVID situation was a thing. The rioting and the protesting was going on.
No. Don't get ahead of yourself, because I'm going to ask you about that. And cool. I know I see what y'all got going on in the chat. I know y'all got a lot of questions, so I am going to open up the panel. I do want to play a couple more videos, but I do want to ask you before I get to the video about what's happening in Grand Rapids. What made you want to be a police officer in the first place?
Man, that's a great question. So I never wanted to be a police officer.
Okay.
Let me start with that. You know, I do martial arts. That was something I was really into, still into it. And I'm also an artist. And so honestly, it was business that I wanted to go into. It's what I started going to school for initially. I went to international business and travel overseas because I'm a designer. I like to design and create things. Well, when I was after high school, I was working at the hospital, and I was introduced to law enforcement through officers who would constantly come to the ER, working cases and things like that. And I would constantly have conversations with them. And, you know, I was a fanatic too. I loved watching the Law and Order type of shows and things like that. Of course, you know, I watched Cops.
I'm a
I
criminal
enjoyed it.
minds type of guy myself, bro.
Yeah, yeah, I enjoy stuff like that. I'm just a really good thinker and a problem solver. So I was just fascinated. But I have a lot of people come up to me and say, "Hey, man, you'd be a really great officer. We could use some black officers in the community, man. You're good with people. You have a good heart, and we hear a lot of great things about you." I was like, "Nah, it's not for me because." I know it's kind of paramilitary, and I knew that's not my style. Like I love the military, I have a lot of respect for them. I just didn't feel like I had the ability to kind of to do that type of work. But man, they convinced me, kind of really hyped me up, and I started really thinking about it. And I was like,
They
why
sold
not?
you on getting yourself dragged down the highway, huh?
Man,
Okay.
yeah, right.
All right.
13 years later, man, and I went into the academy because overall, I really love helping people. I like to serve people. In the hospital, I was basically like a servant. I helped serve and help people. I started off transporting patients in high school, and then I started working in the finance section of the ER with patients. And so I just really enjoyed it, man. I just really love helping people. And so when I got into it, I almost quit twice. Actually, I almost dropped out the academy twice.
How long
And
is the academy?
for
Like
me,
how long does
for
it take
me,
in a general sense?
well, my academy is different because every police department's time is different. Their academy is different. It's not
Okay.
consistent at all. Mine was 6 months. On average, it's about 3 months. Mine was 6 months, and I felt like it was too long. But then when I got out, I felt like it wasn't long enough, right? And so yeah, 6 months long. And after that, man, I hit the ground running, man. I loved it, enjoyed it. I think the joy of seeing people happy, being able to bring justice to victims who've been violated in different ways, and seeing their joy return or seeing people feel safe. That to me brought a lot of joy. Being able to work and help people who needed help in our community was like a big thing. So that's where I ended up getting the love from it. It's a thankless job,
Yeah.
and at the same time, the feeling you get when you get to change a person's life is it's priceless.
Look at this. I'm gonna give people an opportunity to come up here, but I do got a clip later. I just want to let people know this is something you addressed on the Lapeef Network when I went and watched it. Cops were originated to be slave catchers. You dispelled that myth, but we're gonna get
Yeah.
into that, right? One
All
more
right.
thing that I want to ask you before we get into this Grand Rapids video, right? Do you ever regret it? Do you ever at any point sit back and think to yourself, I shouldn't even have never done this, or why do I even put up with this, or any of that? Do you ever does that mindset or does that thought ever come into your mind?
After my accident, it did. I wanted to know why. One, I questioned at the moment why I was alive and why I was able to survive a situation like that. And I didn't understand. So for a while, I was doing a lot of prayer. I was really beating myself up for a good minute.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, I looked at my life at the time and I said, man, I almost got taken up out of here. And there's a lot of things I travel a lot as something I do. I like to go overseas and travel. I have a dream of seeing the seven wonders of the world. So
Mm.
far, I've only seen two, and so my passion at that
You'll get
moment, I was
there.
like, man, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. My plan is to, knock it out. But I looked in that moment that all the things that I had put on the back burner are things I said, hey, I'll do that 3 years from now. I'll take care of these things later. In that moment, I realized that life and tomorrow in itself is never promised. And so the things that you want to accomplish today, you need to be doing it today. And so I looked at the idea that I didn't have a chance to have kids yet, and I
Yeah,
could
you're
have
not
died
you're
in
not
that moment.
married, kids, none of that. What's that about?
No,
How?
yeah, let
How
me get
how
into
is
that,
that possible?
man.
How
We,
wait a minute, wait a minute. As nice as
yeah,
you are a very cool dude. You chill. You don't seem like you would have any problems having conversations with the ladies. How are you not having how old are you, Nate, if you don't mind me asking?
36.
And ain't no chick tied you down and said and stole the condom out of the bathroom and
I
made
don't
sure
know.
that
No,
she
I
got
didn't have to
herself
throw no
pregnant.
hot sauce in the condom. No hot sauce. No, it's different, man. It's difficult dating. The profession makes it a little difficult. I
Women
don't have
like
any
men in
issue.
uniform.
They do. They do. But the issue, though, is I'm very traditional. I was raised traditional. And it's hard to come across women who are who are traditional women these days in our community, unfortunately. And then not only that, you know, making sure the values align and things like that. So, I mean, I date, I don't have any issues with that. But as far as that extra piece, yeah, it's been a little challenge. I'm not gonna lie. And that was one of the issues that I had in the moment, thinking that, you know, as I had more time, right? Like, hey, I'll have kids, you know, when I get married, no rush, not a big deal. And then in this moment, I could have died, and I recognized that. So then I started contemplating the idea of, well, man, what if I did have kids? I would have left them without a father in that
Yeah.
moment, right? And then the idea is that, damn, if I didn't have kids, then I would have left this earth without a legacy. So that was a real difficult moment for me to kind of really contemplate the idea of, you know, at least if since I didn't have children, I wouldn't have been abandoning them if something happened. And so that piece was difficult, but it also woke me up to say, hey, tomorrow's never promised. I need to stop procrastinating this idea and assuming that I have more time than I think I have, right? Like, how arrogant of me to think that God is going to allow me to be here tomorrow, right?